Hello, hi everyone. I am your Badji sir. Now I am going to teach you the poem Upagupta written by Rabindranath Tagore. Dear students, before going to discuss the poem Upagupta written by Rabindranath Tagore, let's know something about the poet Rabindranath Tagore here. For your kind information, he is Rabindranath Tagore. His date of birth is May 7, 1861, and he was born in Calcutta, British India. And his date of death is August 7, 1941, and he died in Calcutta, British India. Profession means Udyoga. Work. He worked as a writer, song composer, playwright, essayist, and painter. Spouse means his wife. His wife's name was Mrinalini Devi. Tagore's children Renuka Tagore, Shamindranath Tagore, Mira Tagore, Rathindranath Tagore, and Madhuri Latha Tagore. Rabindranath's father's name was Devendranath Tagore. Mother was Sharda Devi. The award he received was Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. Rabindranath Tagore, who composed the national anthem of India and won the Nobel Prize for Literature, was a multi-talented personality in every sense. He was a Bengali poet, Brahmo Samaj philosopher, visual artist, playwright, novelist, painter, and a composer. He was also a cultural reformer who modified Bengali art by revoking the strictures that confined it within the sphere of classical Indian forms. Though he was a polymath, his literary works alone are enough to place him in the elite list of all time greats. Even today, Rabindranath Tagore is often remembered for his poetic songs, which are both spiritual and mercurial. He was one of those great minds ahead of his time, and that's exactly why his meeting with Albert Einstein is considered as a clash between science and spirituality. Though Tagore was keen in spreading his ideologies to the rest of the world, and hence embarked on a world tour, lecturing in countries like Japan and the United States. Soon his works were admired by people of various countries, and he eventually became the first non European to win a Nobel Prize. Apart from Jana Gana Mana, the national anthem of India, his composition, Amara Shonar Bangla, was adopted as the national anthem of Bangladesh, and the national anthem of Sri Lanka was inspired by one of his works. Dear students, hope you know something about the poet. Now let's move towards the poem Upagupta, which is composed by Rabindranath Tagore. The poem is very simple and very interesting. Okay, the poem Upagupta. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. Lamps were all out, doves were all set, and stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? Touching his breast of a sudden, he woke up startled, and a light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. It was dancing girl, starred with jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. She lowered her lamp and saw a young face, austerely beautiful. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman. Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth isn't fit bed for you. The young ascetic answered, Woman, go on your way. When the time is ripe, I'll come to you. Suddenly, the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the woman trembled in a fear of some unknown danger. A year hasn't yet passed. It was evening of a day in April in a spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay notes of flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of the rampart. Was that a woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Struck with black pestilence, her body spotted with sores of smallpox, she had been hurriedly removed from the town to avoid her poisonous contagion. The ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his knees, and moistened her lips with water, and smeared her body with a sandal balm. Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. The time at last has come to visit you. And I am here, replied the young ascetic. Dear students, please try to know the main theme of this poem. This poem is about the story of a Buddhist monk Upagupta, a disciple of Lord Buddha, and the dancing girl of Mathura, Vasavadatta. Vasavadatta was a famous and beautiful dancing girl. She was proud of her beauty, youth, and her wealth. Upagupta was an ascetic, an epitome of kindness, wisdom, and selflessness. One dark night, while walking, Vasavadatta stumbles over the body of Upagupta, who was sleeping on the dusty ground. Then what happens? Let's see. Dear students, as you know that, let's start discussing the poem in detail from stanza to stanza. Upagupta, see here. Upagupta, the disciple of Lord Buddha. Please remember, this photo is of Upagupta. And you know that this photo is of Lord Buddha. And this is of Upagupta. Okay? One question may come to you. Like, who was Upagupta? Upagupta was the disciple of Lord Buddha. Then what's meant by disciple? Disciple means the follower of a religious leader. Upagupta was a monk, first point. He was a disciple of Lord Buddha. Disciple means anuyayi, shishya. Okay, then what was he doing? He was lying where? In the dust by the city wall of Mathura. Please remember, lay. What is meant by lay? Lie means malago. Lie, past form is lay. Past participle form is lain. He lay asleep. Asleep means what? Sleeping. Asleep means sleeping. Upagupta, the disciple of Lord Buddha, sleeping where? In the dust by the city wall of Mathura. See, Mathura is a city, you know it. This is the city wall which you see. This is a city wall. Okay. By the city wall means beside the city wall. He was sleeping on the dust. Dust means nela. Dust means mannu. In the dust by the city wall of Mathura. ಮಥುರಾ ನಗರದ ಕೋಟೆ ಗೋಡೆಯ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆತ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ. ಹೂ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ. ಹೂ ವಾಸ್ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ? ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಡಿಸೈಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಬುದ್ಧ. ವೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹೀ ಸ್ಲೀಪಿಂಗ್? ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಲೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸಿಟಿ ವಾಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಥುರಾ. ಮಥುರಾ ನಗರದ ಗೋಡೆಯ ಬದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಬುದ್ಧನ ಶಿಷ್ಯ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಔಟ್. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ನಗರದ ದೀಪಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಆರಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವು. ಡೋರ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಸೆಟ್. ನಗರದ ಮನೆ ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಚ್ಚಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದವು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಹಿಡನ್. ನಕ್ಷತ್ರಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಮರೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದವು. ಇದರಿಂದ ಬೈ ದ ಮಕಿ ಸ್ಕೈ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್. ಮಕಿ ಸ್ಕೈ. ಮಕಿ ಸ್ಕೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡಿ ಸ್ಕೈ. ಮಕಿ ಸ್ಕೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲೌಡಿ ಸ್ಕೈ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಕ್ಲೌಡಿ. ಕ್ಲೌಡಿ ಮೋಡ ತುಂಬಿದ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ತಿಂಗಳದ ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ what happened? The stars were all hidden. Hide past participle form is hidden. All the stars were hidden by what? By the cloudy sky of August. August in India is the rainy season. June, July, August. Understand? Stars were not hidden. Stars were hidden in the sky by the cloudy sky of August, and doors were all set, lamps were all out. See, lamps were not there, doors were not open, and the stars in the sky were not shining. It was dark night. It was dark night. And the Buddhist monk Upupta was sleeping by the city wall of Mathura on the dust. ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. This is something about the first stanza of the poem. Then what happens? Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? Whose feet were those? You know it. Foot, its plural form is feet. Whose feet were those tinkling, tinkle, make sound? Whose feet were those making sound with anklets? What's meant by anklets? Anklets means ಗೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳು. ಕಾಲ್ಗೆಜ್ಜೆಗಳಿಂದ ನಾದ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಪಾದಗಳು ಯಾರು? Whose feet were those making sound with anklets and touching his breast of sudden? Those anklets making sound with those feet tinkling with anklets, they touched his breast of a sudden. The feet which were making sound with anklets touched the breast, touched his breast, touched his breast. Here, his refers to Upagupta. Please remember, the feet which were tinkling with anklets touched the breast of Upagupta all of sudden by accident. Accidentally, the feet which were making sounds with anklets touched the breast of Upagupta, who was sleeping on the dust, who was sleeping in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. When The feet touched his breast. How was the atmosphere in the city of Mathura? All the lamps were off, and the doors were shut, and even the stars in the sky were hidden by the murky sky of August. It means the sky over Mathura was covered with the clouds. So, even the stars were hidden by the clouds over the city of Mathura. It was night time. Something happened. He woke up startled. He woke up startled, extremely surprised. He woke up with great surprise. Why? Because someone touched his breast. Someone stumbled over him. Understand? Someone stumbled over his body. Therefore, he got up with great surprise. Who had stumbled over his body? See, you know that a dancing girl, Vasavadatta had stumbled over his body. He woke up with startled. He woke up startled means he woke up with great surprise. He sat up, and a light from a woman's lamp, a light from a woman's lamp. See, a light from woman's lamp. What happened? Fell on his forgiving eyes. A light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. What kind of eyes had he got? Who is his here? His refers to Upagupta. Please remember. A light from woman's lamp fell on his merciful eyes, forgiving eyes. ಸಿ ಕ್ಷಮಾ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಳ ದೀಪದ ಬೆಳಕು ಬಿತ್ತು. Then he recognized that it was dancing girl, starred with jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. Here, Upagupta, the Buddhist monk, disciple of Lord Buddha, came to know that she was none other than a dancing girl. You know that dancing girl was starring with jewels. She was shining like a star with jewels on her body. It means she was very rich. And she was wearing a pale blue mantle. Her dress was so attractive. Pale blue mantle. Mantle means loose garment, loose cloak, worn especially in the past. Okay? She was wearing loose garments. The garment, her mantle was of pale blue in color, and drunk with the wine of her youth. She was how? Young, beautiful, and rich. Therefore, the poet Rabindranath Tagore says, drunk with the wine. She was proud of her youth. Drunk with the wine of her youth means she was what? She was proud of three things. Vasavadatta, the dancing girl, was proud of three things. First, she was proud of what? She was proud of beauty. She was proud of what? Youth. She was proud of wealth. Please remember. She was proud of three important things. She was proud of youth, beauty, and wealth. Please remember. Beauty, youth, wealth. She was proud of these three things. For your kind information, beauty, youth, wealth are temporary things. Beauty is not permanent. Beauty of a person is not permanent. Youth is not permanent. And even wealth is not permanent. But she was proud of these things: beauty, youth, and wealth. Whereas you know that how Upagupta was, what kind of person he was. She lowered her lamp. She lowered her lamp. Come on, try to understand the meaning. Lower. Lower. Lower means bhagiso. She lowered her lamp and saw young face austerely beautiful. She lowered her lamp. ತನ್ನ ದೀಪವನ್ನು ಕೆಳ ಬಗ್ಗಿಸಿದಳು. She here. She lowered her lamp, who Vasavadatta, and saw young face, ಒಬ್ಬ ಯುವಕನ ಮುಖವನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಳು. Austerely beautiful. She saw what kind of beauty? Austerely beautiful face she saw where? Please remember, she saw austerely beautiful face in that monk. ತಪಸ್ವಿಯ ಸರಳ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯತೆ. Austerly beautiful means ತಪಸ್ವಿಯ ಸರಳ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ. Monks simple beauty. Understand? Reflecting the beauty of the ascetic. She saw the beauty of ascetic, simple beauty of ascetic, austerely beautiful. Monk's beauty, monk's handsomeness, she saw in the face of Upagupta. She lowered her lamp and saw young face which was having simple beauty of a monk. Then she said, "Forgive me, young ascetic," said the woman. Why did she ask Upagupta to forgive her? Because she had stumbled over his body at night. ಯುವ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಯೇ, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸು. She had made a mistake. She had stumbled. Stumble means ಎಡವು. She had stumbled over the body of Upagupta, who was sleeping in the dust by the city wall of Mathura at night. It was a mistake she had made. Therefore, she asks him to forgive me. Forgive. Forgive means ಕ್ಷಮಿಸು. ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸು, ಯುವ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಯೇ. I have made a mistake. Graciously come to my house. Graciously means kindly. Please remember. Please come to my house. She invites young sannyasi, young ascetic, to her house. Graciously come to my house. Being a beautiful, being a rich, being a young, dancing girl, Vasavadatta invites young ascetic to her house at midnight. The dusty earth, she says, the dusty earth isn't fit bed for you. The dusty earth isn't a fit bed for you. ಧೂಳು ತುಂಬಿದ ಈ ಭೂಮಿ ನೆಲ isn't a fit bed for you. ನಿನಗೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾದ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮಣ್ಣಿದೆ, ಧೂಳಿದೆ, ಹೊಲಸಿದೆ. ಇದು ನಿನಗೆ ಯೋಗ್ಯವಾದ ಶಯನ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಹೌಸ್. Of course, does he agree? Does he agree with her invitation? No. The young ascetic answered, ಯುವ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರಿಸಿದ. Very beautifully he answered. How? Woman, go on your way. ಮಹಿಳೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ದಾರಿಯಿಂದ ನೀನು ಹೋಗು. Go on your way. Woman, go on your way. Where you want to go, you go on your way. Where you are going, you go on your way. ನೀ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೀಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗು. When the time is ripe, I will come to you. When the time is ripe, I will come to you. ಸಮಯ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಯೋಗ್ಯ ಸಮಯ ಬಂದಾಗ, I will come to you. ನಾನೇ ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬರುತ್ತೇನೆ. You needn't invite me. I will come to you, but let the time come. Ripe means pakwa. R-I-P-E, ripe. Its opposite word, I hope you know, unripe. When the time is ripe means when the time is correct, when the time is suitable, when the time expects me, then without your invitation, I myself will come to you. You don't worry. But he refuses her invitation of going to her home at night. Yes, then what happens? Suddenly, the black night showed its teeth. Please remember, suddenly means kudale. What happens? The black night, kappu ratri, showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. See, when he refused, when she invited him to her house, after stumbling over his body, Vasavadatta, the young, beautiful, rich lady, invites him to her house, saying that this dusty ground is not fit bed for you. One thing happens in nature. It was night. What happened? The black night, ಕಪ್ಪು ರಾತ್ರಿ, ಕರಾಳ ರಾತ್ರಿ, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಿಂಚುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ ತನ್ನ ಭಯಂಕರ ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸಿತು. Showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. It showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. ಕರಾಳ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ನಕ್ಕಂಥ ಭಾವ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಿಂಚು ತೋರಿಸುವುದರ ಮೂಲಕ, ಮಿಂಚು ಹೊಡೆಯೋದರ ಮೂಲಕ ಕರಾಳ ರಾತ್ರಿ ತನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದಂತಾಯಿತು. ದೆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಮ್, ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿ, ಗ್ರೌಲ್ಡ್, ಗುರಾಯಿಸಿತು. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ? ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೈ. ಆಕಾಶದ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮೂಲೆಯಿಂದ ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿ ಗುರಾಯಿಸಿದಂತೆ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬೀಸಿತು. ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿ ಬೀಸಿತು, ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಂಚು ಕಂಡಿತು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ವುಮನ್, ವೆನ್ ದೀಸ್ unwanted, unexpected things happened in nature, she trembled in fear. of some unknown danger. Known opposite word is unknown. You know it. Known opposite word is unknown. Unknown danger, ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತ ಅಪಾಯ, ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತ ಭಯ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಾಗ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅಂಜಿ ಗದಗದ ಗದಗದ ನಡುಗಿದಳು. ಎಸ್, she was afraid of lightning. She was afraid of the storm. Storm and lightning, when they occurred at a time in the nature at night, she trembled in fear of some unknown danger. Then what happens? Dear students, please remember, a year hasn't yet passed. ಆ ಘಟನೆ ಸಂಭವಿಸಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. A year hasn't yet passed after that incident had happened. A year hasn't yet passed. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಳೆದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. What happened? Pass means ಕಳೆಯು. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಕಳೆದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಘಟನೆಯಾಗಿ. It happened in the month of August. Now it was evening of a day in April. April, you know? It was evening of a day in April. ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ. ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಮಾಸದ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ. ಇನ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಸೀಸನ್, ಅದು ವಸಂತಕಾಲ. ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್. ನೇಚರ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಯಂಗ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಯೂತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ನೇಚರ್. Spring is the youth of nature. Everything looks beautiful in nature. Poet Rabindranath Tagore says, the branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. The branches, rembegalu. Wayside trees, these are all wayside trees. See the wayside trees. ದಾರಿಯ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮರಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಸಮ್. ಹೂಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವು. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ವೇಸೈಡ್ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಲಾಸಮ್. ಬ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೂಗಳು. ದಾರಿಯ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮರಗಳ ರೆಂಬೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಹೂಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವು. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್? And what happened? It was what kind of time? It was evening time. Sun was getting ready to set. Sun was getting ready to set. And the wayside trees were full of blossoms. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ಇತ್ತ ದಾರಿಯ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಮರಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಹೂಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವು. ಸುಂದರವಾದ ನಗರ. ಗೈ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಸಂತೋಷದ ರಾಗಗಳು. ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫ್ಲೂಟ್, FLUTE. ಫ್ಲೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಕೊಳಲು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಗೈ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫ್ಲೂಟ್, ಒಂದು ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಸಂತೋಷದ ರಾಗ. ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ತೇಲಿ 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 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಇನ್ ದಿ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಏರ್ ಇಟ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್. ಇಟ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲಿ ತೇಲಿ ಆ ರಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಫ್ಲೂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ರೀಚಿಂಗ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಇಯರ್ಸ್. Float means telu. What were floating? Gay notes means happy notes. Gay notes means happy notes. Happy notes were reaching his ears. Happy notes of what? Flute. Flute means kolalu. You might have seen flute in the hands of Lord Krishna. What was the time? In the warm spring air. In the warm spring air. Warm spring air. ವಸಂತ ಕಾಲದ ಬೆಚ್ಚನೆಯ ಗಾಳಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಸಂತೋಷದ ರಾಗ ತೇಲುತ್ತಾ ತೇಲುತ್ತಾ ಬಂದು ಇವನ ಕಿವಿಗೆ ತಾಕುತ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ? ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಫಾರ್. ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಫಾರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ದೂರದಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಸಂತಸದ ನಾದ ಇವನ ಕಿವಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಇವನ ಕರ್ಣಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಮುಳುಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ದಾರಿಯ ಬದಿಯ ರೋಡ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ದಾರಿಯ ಬದಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮರಗಳ ರೆಂಬೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಹೂಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದವು. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಥುರಾ. ವೆನ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂಕ್ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ, the disciple of Lord Buddha, explains in the month of August. Then what happens? Please see. Upagupta passed through the city gates. Upagupta ಮಥುರಾ ನಗರವನ್ನು ದಾಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು he passed through the city gates. Please remember. ನಗರದ ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳನ್ನು ದಾಟಿದ. Here the Buddhist monk has come outside of the city and stood at the base of the ramparts. He stood at the base of the rampart. Please remember, he stood at the base. Base means tala, adhara. He stood at the base of the rampart. Where did he stand? He stood at the base of rampart. Rampart means dibba, mannina dibba. Please remember. ಕೋಟೆ ಗೋಡೆಯ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ದಿಬ್ಬದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡ. ದೆನ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಡಿ, ರ್ಯಾಂಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಗೋಡೆಯ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ದಿಬ್ಬ, ಅದರ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡ. ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ ನಗರದ ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ದಾಟಿಕೊಂಡು ದಾಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ. he stood at the base of the rampart. ಗೋಡೆಯ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ದಿಬ್ಬದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ನಿಂತುಕೊಂಡ. then what did he see? He saw something. Was that a woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Mango grove means ಮಾವಿನ ಹಣ್ಣಿನ ಮರಗಳ ತೋಪು, ಮಾವಿನ ಮರಗಳ ಗುಂಪು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗ್ರಾವ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಗ್ರಾವ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮಾವಿನ ಮರಗಳ ತೋಪು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅ ವುಮನ್? ಅದೇ ಆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯೇನು? ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅ ವುಮನ್? ಅವಳು ಅದೇ ಮಹಿಳೆಯೇ? ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅ ವುಮನ್? ಅವಳು ಅದೇ ಮಹಿಳೆಯೇ? he asks. lying at his feet, lie, L-I-E, lie means malagu, lies, lying, laid. Please remember, lying means ಮಲಗಿರುವ, ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವ. ವೇರ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಫೀಟ್, ಅವನ ಕಾಲುಗಳ ಮುಂದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂಥ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅವಳೇನು? ವೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಲೈಯಿಂಗ್? ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಯಾಡೋ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಗ್ರಾವ್. ಮಾವಿನ ತೋಪದ ನೆರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಂಥ ಮಾವಿನ ತೋಪಿನ ನೆರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಕಾಲುಗಳ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅವಳೇನು? ಒನ್ ಡೇ he was sleeping in the dust beside the wall. She had stumbled over his body. She was proud of her youth, beauty, and wealth. But he was an epitome of what? He was epitome of what? He was epitome, granary of what? Kindness, wisdom, selflessness. He was a source of kindness, wisdom, selflessness. Upagupta was a resource of kindness, wisdom, and selflessness. He had forgiveness in his eyes. He had kindness in his heart, wisdom in his head, selflessness in his mind and heart. You know it. He was a man of kindness. He was a man of wisdom. He was a man of selflessness. He was a man of mercy. Now he thinks, who is lying at his feet? One day, a woman who was proud of her youth, beauty, and wealth. Now the same woman was lying at his feet on the dusty ground in the shadow of the mango grove. Youth is not permanent. Beauty is not permanent. Wealth is not permanent. That's why we should never be proud of impermanent things. We don't know when they come, when they go. But if we have kindness in our heart, wisdom in our head, selflessness in our personality, then they are permanent things. This is what we have to learn from the personality of Upagupta, from the character of Upagupta. Now please remember, let's move to next stanza. What had happened to that Vasavadatta? Struck with, see here, struck with black pestilence, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ರೋಗ ಅಂಟಿಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು. ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಲೆನ್ಸ್, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ರೋಗ ಅಂಟಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದವಳಿಗೆ. ದಟ್ಟು ಸಿಡುಬು ರೋಗ. ಹರ್ ಬಾಡಿ spotted with sores of smallpox. Smallpox means ಸಿಡುಬು ರೋಗ. Her body, ಅವಳ ಶರೀರ. Once she was proud of her beauty. The same body spotted with sores means ಹುಣ್ಣು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಣ್ಣು, ಮೈ ತುಂಬ ಹುಣ್ಣು. Like this. Now her body is spotted with sores means ಗಾಯ, ಹುಣ್ಣು. ಕಿಚಿ ಅಂತ ಇತ್ತು ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಲೆನ್ಸ್, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ರೋಗ ಅಂಟಿಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತು. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೆಸ್ಟಿಲೆನ್ಸ್ she was struck with. Her body spotted with sores of smallpox. ಅವಳ ಶರೀರ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಸಿಡುಬು ರೋಗಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. ಸಿಡುಬು ಗುಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು. She was not fit to touch. She was not fit to be touched by anyone. In such a way, she was suffering from black pestilence. ಭಯಂಕರ ರೋಗ ಅದು, ಸಾಂಕ್ರಾಮಿಕ ರೋಗ, ಸಿಡುಬು ರೋಗ, ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ ಗುಳ್ಳಿ, ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ ರಸಿಕೆ. ಅಂಥ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಳು. Where? On the dusty ground. She had been hurriedly removed from town to avoid her poisonous contagion. She had been hurriedly removed. ಅವಳನ್ನು ಅವಸರದಿಂದ ಹೊರಹಾಕಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಎಲ್ಲಿಯಿಂದ? ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಟೌನ್, ನಗರದಿಂದ. ವೈ? ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಹರ್ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಕಂಟೇಜಿಯನ್, ವಿಷಕಾರಿ ಸಾಂಕ್ರಾಮಿಕ ರೋಗವನ್ನು ತಡೆಯುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಅವಳನ್ನು ನಗರದಿಂದ ಅವಸರವಾಗಿ ಹೊರಹಾಕಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, ಯೂತ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, wealth attracts people, but these three things are not permanent. When the people who are being attracted by her beauty and wealth and her youth, they same people, when they came to know that the lady had got a disease, they had removed her from the town. Why? To avoid her poisonous contagion. Yes, ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಕಂಟೇಜಿಯನ್, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ವಿಷಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಸಾಂಕ್ರಾಮಿಕ ರೋಗ, ಭಯಂಕರ ಸಾಂಕ್ರಾಮಿಕ ರೋಗವನ್ನು ತಡೆಯುವ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಅವಳನ್ನು ನಗರದಿಂದ ಹೊರಹಾಕಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. ದಿ ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್, ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ, sat by her side. The young ascetic, Upagupta, Buddhist monk, the disciple of Lord Buddha, went to her, sat by her side. He sat by her side means ಹೋದ, ಅವಳ ಪಕ್ಕ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ. took her head on his knees. When the whole town had removed her from the city, thinking that she was suffering from black pestilence, poisonous contagion, to avoid the disease from spreading from person to person, he went to her, sat by her side. ಇಡೀ ಊರು ಅವಳು ನಿರಾಕರಿಸಿತ್ತು, ಇಡೀ ಊರು ಅವಳನ್ನು ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕಿತ್ತು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಡೀ ಊರಿಗೆ ಅವಳು ಬೇಡವಾಗಿದ್ದಳೋ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವಳಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತೋ, ಯೌವನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತೋ, ಸಂಪತ್ತಿಗೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಸತ್ಯ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಅರಿವಾಗಿತ್ತೋ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವಳು ಮಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ತುಂಬಿದ ಧೂಳು ತುಂಬಿದ ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಳೋ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್. ಅರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ the original home of man. Man comes from the dust, man goes to the dust. This is the truth we have to understand. The ascetic sat by her side. Ascetic, ಅವಳ ಪಕ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ, ascetic means a ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ, ಅವಳ ಪಕ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಂಡ. took her head on his knees. ಅವಳ ತಲೆ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ತೊಡೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ. like motherly treatment, motherly love, motherly affection. See, motherly love, it is pure love, it is God's love. Like a great mentor, like a great healer, he took her head on his knees. ಅವಳ ತಲೆ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೊಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ. ಮುಂದೆ what did he do? Please remember, here you can see one mango tree. Previously I showed you a mango ground. Now some mango trees. Under the mango tree you see one sannyasi giving treatment to a woman. What did he do? By taking her head on his knees. ಮೊಳಕಾಲ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವಳು ತಲೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಉಪಗುಪ್ತ? He moistened her lips. He moistened her lips with water. He gave her water. ತುಟಿ ಒದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ ನೀರಿನಿಂದ. It means he gave her water to drink. ಕುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರು ಕೊಟ್ಟ. And smeared her body with sandal balm. Smear means apply. Please remember. Apply means ಹಚ್ಚು. He had brought ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಬಾಮ್, ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಲೇಪನ. ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಲೇಪನ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಅವನ ಕಡೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ? ಹಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಬಾಮ್ ಟು ಹರ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅವಳ ಶರೀರಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಲೇಪನವನ್ನು ಹಚ್ಚಿದ. By seeing this care, by seeing this mercifulness, that Upagupta was sitting by her side, giving treatment to her like mother, giving water to drink. Seeing all this help, Vasavadatta opened her eyes and asked him, Who are you, merciful one? Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. ಆ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳಿದಳು. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಆರೈಕೆ ಮಾಡು, ಇಡೀ ಊರೇ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹಾಕಿರುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಸಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ನಾನು ಇಡೀ ಊರಿಗೆ ಬೇಡವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಸಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ನನ್ನ ಮೈ ತುಂಬ ಸಿಡುಬು ರೋಗದ ಗುಳ್ಳೆಗಳೆದ್ದು ಸೋರುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನು, ನನ್ನ ತಲೆಯನ್ನು ತೊಡೆಯ ಮೇಲಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೀರು ಕುಡಿಸಿ ನನಗೆ ಲೇಪನ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಆರೈಕೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಕರುಣಾಮಯಿ ತಾವು ಯಾರು? Then the time, he says, the time at last has come to visit you. The time at last has come to visit you. The time at last has come to visit you. ಕೊನೆಗೂ ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗುವಂಥ ಸಮಯ ಬಂತು. A friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need is a God indeed. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟಕ್ಕಾದವನೇ ನಿಜವಾದ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟಕ್ಕಾದವನೇ ನಿಜವಾದ ದೇವರು. See, the friend in happiness is not a friend at all. ಸುಖಕ್ಕೆ 1000 ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರು, ದುಃಖಕ್ಕೆ ದೇವರ ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತ ಸಾಕು. ದುಃಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತ ದೇವರಿಗೆ ಸಮಾನವಾಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನೇ ದೇವರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಯು. ಕೊನೆಗೂ ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗುವಂಥ ಕಾಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ರಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ದಿ ಯಂಗ್ ಅಸೆಟಿಕ್. ಸೊ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಡ್ the young ascetic. Ascetic means says, disciple. Your ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟ. ತಾಯಿ, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಭೇಟಿಯಾಗುವಂಥ ಕಾಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ನಾನು ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಗಾಡ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟೀಸ್, ಇನ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್. ವೆನ್ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡೇಂಜರ್, ಗಾಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅಸ್, ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಮ್. Then what happens? What happens to Vasavadatta? Vasavadatta, dancing girl, got cured of smallpox, and she sacrificed her pride, ego of youth, wealth, and beauty. She became healthy by the blessings of Upagupta, and afterwards Vasavadatta became a disciple of Upagupta. So she led a simple, healthy, and the life with wisdom, the life with kindness, the life with selflessness. She became a good woman. She became a disciple of Lord Upagupta. She led a happy life throughout her life. She led very good living and lived a healthy, happy, and meaningful life. So here you can see Lord Upagupta's statue. Okay, dear students, I hope you came to know something about this poem. This is the first poem of 9th standard. You please listen to this poem and its description again and again for your better understanding. Thank you so much for watching this, for listening to this video, watching some beautiful pictures related to this poem. And see, I request you to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel for all my videos. With one more interesting video lesson, I'd like to meet you next time. Till then, bye.